Good evening and welcome to Project 351's 10th Anniversary Leadership Reunion. My name is Jazara McIntosh and I am proud to be an ambassador from Edgartown. Over the last 6 months, despite distance and with an abundance of Zoom, we've built community, friendships, and confidence as leaders. As we gather for reunion, that confidence and our commitment to the values that define Project 351 are needed now more than ever.
Hi everybody, I'm Gavin, the ambassador from New Braintree. And like Jazara said, reunion comes at an important time in our nation's history, a time to listen, learn, commit, and act. Tonight we look back 10 years ago to Project 351's founding and to the class of 2020's first 6 months. And we look forward to the second half of our ambassador year, the second decade of Project 351, and to the opportunity and responsibility we have to unite, act, and lead.
We will begin tonight with the honor of welcoming Jeff Bellows, Vice President of Corporate Citizenship at Blue Cross Blue Shield.
We are so grateful for Blue Cross for serving as tonight's leadership partner and for believing in Project 351 from the start.
Welcome to 351.
Thanks, guys. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to Leadership Reunion 2020. Blue Cross is so proud to serve as the leadership partner for this inspirational gathering of young leaders who put courage, compassion, and community first. Blue Cross has been with Project 351 since the start, and as we celebrate our 10th year together, I want to recognize the cadre of unsung heroes who have served and led their communities and our Commonwealth as ambassadors. We look forward to celebrating the impact of your leadership now and in the years ahead. Blue Cross and Project 351 are strong partners because we have a common vision and shared values. At Blue Cross, the ethic of service, a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a devotion to healthy, engaged citizens and communities guides our daily mission. We believe, as you do, that the definition of a meaningful and successful life is one defined by service to a cause greater than self. That in mind, this year is certainly unprecedented. We have experienced and are living through 3 major crises: the COVID-19 pandemic, an economic recession, and a racial justice crisis. At any given time, any one of these extraordinary events is overwhelming, but the combination of all 3 is beyond. However, we will get through these times and will be stronger and more resilient as a result. We stand in solidarity. We respect and help one another. We draw inspiration from all the amazing acts of courage and compassion. We draw inspiration from your example. We will rise. There is a saying, you are the ones we've been waiting for, and that is true. Ambassadors and alumni, Blue Cross is grateful for your leadership, honored by our partnership, and in awe of your service to build strong, united, and compassionate communities across this great state. Congratulations on your extraordinary efforts this year and as you continue to lead in the future. Thank you.
Josh Florence, Wilbraham, 2011. 10 years ago, I hopped on a school bus from Western Massachusetts to Boston, to Project 351. I'd never heard of it, but for good reason. I was part of the founding class of an idea, now a movement, called Project 351. My 351 resume includes ambassador, alumni, volunteer, and board member. Why do I return again and again? My response is simple: the gift of community. There's no place quite like Project 351, the way 8th graders are respected as mature changemakers. Alumni return to mentor, lead, and found their own change movements. The selflessness of thousands of educators and volunteers who ensure the richness of our journey, and the culture and values that run so deep they color our world orange and blue. And it all began that one day in January, when the gift of community became my call to serve.
Denalisa Costa, Lynn, 2014. My ambassador year taught me that none of my aspirations for an equitable future are too radical. And every year since, 6 and counting, I've met a new class of 8th graders who remind me that if young people are leading, we're headed in the right direction. They care about climate change, they care about racial equality, they care about human rights. And I witnessed my fellow alums turn those aspirations into action throughout the state, country, and world. Project 351's gift of belief in my vision of the world is empowering. Here, aspiration becomes action, and action becomes change.
Gendreau, Westport, 2013. Our Project 351 service is both powerful and unifying. It taught the 13-year-old me about the positive change that I could make. That idea strengthened my dedication to public service. Now, as a candidate for elected office, I carry those lessons of civic engagement with me. Together is better.
I'm Lucas Lee from Carlisle, class of 2019. When I first heard I was chosen as an ambassador, I had no idea what to expect. All I knew was that it felt right. Project 351 has given me one of the greatest gifts I could ever hope to receive, that being giving me the opportunity to wake up and discover the hidden potential I never knew I had.
Soleei Guasp, Fall River, 2018. Too many people in my town don't dare to dream beyond high school. I too suffered from self-doubt and poor self-image. But for the moment I was selected as 2018 ambassador, things changed. I changed. Project 351 built my confidence and gave me a platform for compassion and action. Service became my calling, giving me hope.
I'm Jack Burgess, class of 2017, representing Sandwich. As an 8th grader, I was passionate yet uninformed. This community has given me the safe space to ask questions and learn about the social injustices that plague our world. Knowledge is the first step to empathy, and empathy is necessary to forge the beloved community. Project 351 inspires my mission to work for a more inclusive and just world.
I'm Surya Adeleye, Norwood, class of 2015. I never had a space to express my social justice beliefs and an opportunity to reflect on the person I was growing into until Project 351. As a senior, I received the gift of that expression as a trainer for the Playbook Initiative, our anti-racism, anti-discrimination partnership with the Boston Celtics. One that required me to dismantle my own biases as I mentored middle school students to reflect on and correct their own. This discovery of purpose and of my obligation to work for social justice followed me to Tufts, where I continue to use my voice as an activist and advocate.
I'm Juan Duran, Maynard, class of 2012. Project 351 gave me the opportunity to discover a previously unknown passion to serve others. Building common ground in support of a cause has become increasingly difficult in our polarized world. But Project 351 taught me there's always a way, and that begins with being compassionate and kind and embracing all differences.
Sophia Gustafson, Medfield, 2016. Project 351 instilled in me a passion for service and the belief that I could change the world. And ever since, I've gained the drive to pursue global change through Hope for All and the Youth Environmental Consumers Alliance, 2 organizations that I've founded. Thank you, 351, for validating the hopes and determination of young public servants, for giving us the skills and confidence to lead, for uniting us as 3,753 strong, and for elevating each unique voice. We love you, we appreciate you, and we are 351 because of you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Project 351 team, Sam Carson, Danielle West, and Marsha Robinson, our advisory board and chair, Charlie Rose, and our educators advisory group and chair, Mary Cregan, warmest welcome to Leadership Reunion. At Project 351, we begin in gratitude. And on this night, as we celebrate a decade of our youth-led movement for change, that list could consume the next hour. So as I speak in broad themes, know that each of you have been an architect of consequence with an indelible imprint on our hearts. Our great thanks to Jeff Bellows and the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts, the Martin Richard Foundation, WBZ-TV, Mass Association of School Superintendents, and the New England Patriots Charitable Foundation for their leadership tonight and over the last decade. Our gratitude extends to every educator, family, partner, LT member, volunteer, investor, and civic leader. We have special love for Governor Deval Patrick and Diane Patrick, who believed from the start and haven't left our side since. And so too, Governor Charlie Baker and Lauren Baker. What a privilege for our Commonwealth to be governed by 4 extraordinary leaders who put courage, compassion, and community first, who again and again look to young people to architect our future, confident in their aspirations. In the blink of an eye, a decade has passed since Governor Patrick convened the class of 2011. Since then, 3,753 eighth grade unsung heroes have embraced the opportunity to build strong, just, and inclusive communities through service, and demonstrated that young people, united in common cause, are a powerful force for transformative change. Tonight, we gather at a turning point for our nation as this generation's history-making movement pursues the promise of democracy and the fullness of humanity, a march fueled by hope, to uplift the rights and dignity of all, including to affirm that Black lives matter. For 10 years, our mission and aspiration is that of a youth-led movement of social change. As we begin our second decade, we embrace our responsibility to do more to eradicate racism and create a more equitable and just nation. Ambassadors and alumni lead us. United, they rise to give voice to the voiceless, compassion to our most vulnerable, vigilance to our environment and issues of racial and social justice. Theirs is a legacy of fortitude and faith, resilience and resolve, and progress and possibility. They hear the whispers of Dr. King and John Lewis and the clarion call of their generation and march toward the horizon with hope. Tonight, we celebrate the class of 2020 and the 9 classes of alumni on whose shoulders they stand. We pay special tribute to the class of 2016, our remarkable and beloved seniors, for 5 years of stewarding our mission. At 13 years old, they and their peers determined that a lifetime of service is their calling. On every day since, they've taught us about the power of inclusion, insistence on respect for the dignity of all, and the singular joy created by a community bound by common purpose. What a beautiful community of leaders, diverse, wise, open-hearted, and courageous, bound by the blue and orange. For each of the last 3,650 days, it has been the greatest privilege to serve with and learn from you. And tonight, with special joy, we celebrate all you have achieved and the limitless possibility of the days to come. We begin with our founding honorary chair, Governor Deval Patrick and Diane Patrick, 2 champions we cherish.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deval Patrick.
And I'm Diane Patrick.
10 years ago, when we founded Project 351, it was about gathering and acknowledging the servant leaders that we know exist in every American community all across the Commonwealth. And by identifying you at a formative age, when you're just beginning to sort out who you are, and elevating this notion that service is not just what you do, but who you are, would generate a community who lived the values of Dr. King's beloved community, and who showed by their example that we each have a stake in our neighbors' dreams and struggles as well as our own. Little did I realize a decade ago that in fact it would be up to you to save the world. Our climate has become more and more in crisis. The inequality and lack of understanding among and between our people has gotten deeper. The racial injustice that many of us have always understood was there has come more and more to the surface. And what I see when I look out and around at what's happening in America's cities and towns and on the streets today with so many protesters, so many of them young, and from every single kind of background, is a willingness to confront some of the big, hard, and sometimes uncomfortable questions that face us here in this country and have faced us for a long time. I think the greatness of America has always been about the generations who undertake to close the gap between our reality and our ideals. And in order to do that, in order to lead those conversations, in order to lead us to a common understanding of what it means to be an American, what it means to live those values of equality, opportunity, and fair play, not just for some of us, but for all of us, will require the very kind of beloved community that each and every one of you has committed to help build. We need Project 351 now more than ever. And I am so very, very proud of each and every one of you and of the leadership of this initiative who have committed tirelessly and diligently and with extreme kindness and care to develop a generation of servant leaders of precisely the kind we need at precisely the moment we're in. I'm proud of you. Keep it up.
And let me just add my 2 cents. Who knew 10 years ago when we did need Project 351 that we would need it ever more today? I have met so many of you throughout the past 10 years from every different town and city, from every different ethnic and socioeconomic and political background. And that's what this country needs more than ever, is the coming together of people like you to save the world that we so desperately need right now. Thank you for all that you do and contribute to this Commonwealth and to this country.
Good luck, everyone, and congratulations on this anniversary for being a part of building history and remaking and reinventing our beloved community.
Thank you.
Bye.
What is it about Project 351 that gives you hope in such a tumultuous time?
Your ability to identify a need, to express and articulate what needs to happen to make something better, whatever it is, gives me great hope. I mean, impact doesn't just happen. You have to make it happen. And the thing about Project 351 is you teach people how to make impact happen.
And what better way to lift a group of leaders than to have them working together across geographic lines, across socioeconomic lines, across racial lines, across gender, and to think that these are going to be our politicians, our teachers, our scientists, our doctors. It's so important. I wish we could spread it throughout the United States.
When I was selected as an ambassador to represent Lynn, I really felt honored.
Honestly, he doesn't know this, but it brought tears to my eyes just reading about it in the paper.
Our kids, when they come in the door in 6th grade, they aspire to be ambassadors, so it's been something that's very important to our community and to our kids.
My name is Tyler. I'm an ambassador for Mali. My dream is peace and progress through greater understanding. We can do anything we set our minds to do as long as we can do it together.
My name is Blessing. My dream is to become the President of the United States.
The people at Project 351 are people that want to serve and will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do so. If the country and the world had more people like that, we wouldn't have as many of the problems as we do now.
Bringing the people back from 10 years ago who are still involved and still mentoring and still getting kids excited about this work. I cannot say enough good things about this.
Stand up if you think Project 351 and the connections you made today will help you be yourself.
Stand up if you believe we cause good trouble.
Project 351 has been doing great things for our communities for over 10 years. And every single time you graduate a class, they come back and they become stronger and better. And it's an absolute army of service and good works.
We all have the tools and the confidence to go out and serve in our communities and when we get older throughout the country and the world.
My hope is that Project 351 alumni become part of every aspect of society, and that one day the mayor, the governor, and the president of the United States are all alumni of Project 351.
Project 351! Unite as we! Project 351! Unite!
Hey, what's up? Jason McCourty here from the New England Patriots. What's up, students from Project 351? I hope you remember me, Devin McCourty here. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys a little bit. These have been very crazy times in our country, starting with a pandemic that has totally shut everything down, and life as you guys know it hasn't been the same. Not being able to hang out with your friends, not being able to go to school, not being able to be outside and do the things that you love to do, followed up by everything that's going on in our country involving race. You guys have to continue to believe in yourselves and stay strong. There's so much going on, but you guys have instilled in you so many core values that are going to help you through any type of adversity that you face as you go along in your life. Understanding, my time of being around Project 351, a lot of you students don't define the norm. You go outside of the norm. You go outside of the box. You believe in your communities. You believe in helping others. You believe in being selfless. You believe in accomplishing goals that are a lot greater than yourselves. Your communities, the whole Boston, Massachusetts area, the whole New England look to you guys for leadership and influence. Don't take that lightly. Your age doesn't matter. Leadership is all about performance and attitude. I've heard Coach Belichick say that for years. And I really start to understand it as I got older and continued to play in the NFL, that leadership only took for an individual to, one, perform whatever task they had and perform it well, and then two, was to always have a great attitude. That great attitude means helping other people, being willing to listen and be coachable, being able to execute at a high level no matter what goes on. Those things you have already done. You've done it through a school year. You've done it through a pandemic now. You guys are built for these tough times. You guys are the leaders that are going to lead us through in the future. I'm so proud to be associated with you guys, getting a chance to go out to your conference last year here at Gillette Stadium and getting a chance to be around you guys and hear some of the stories, inspiring stories of what you students are doing throughout your cities and how you're leading your peers and showing them the way. Although these are unprecedented times, continue to do those things, continue to believe in yourselves, and continue to push each other. Continue to keep the standard what it is. Expect excellence from yourself, expect excellence from your classmates and your friends, and demand it from them. Continue to lead. Continue to lean on those that you've leaned on your entire lives, whether it's your parents, your teachers, and other family members. Just continue to be great. Push through the adversity, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future at some point when we're able to gather again and be in each other's presence. So happy to be able to share a message with you guys. Congratulations, good luck, and continue to lead, and I can't wait to see you guys doing great things in the future. I always love being around you. I think you are all awesome individuals, and collectively you just make an awesome nonprofit organization. So keep inspiring people, keep giving out hope, because we all need it now. Thank you.
Good evening, Project 351 ambassadors and alumni. My name is Emma Rutan, and I represented Braintree as an ambassador in the class of 2013. I am joined today by my fellow class of 2013 ambassadors, Brooke Mylosh, representing North Attleboro, and Elizabeth Schiffer, representing Topsfield. Elizabeth is now entering her senior year at Boston University, and Brooke and I are classmates at Yale University. We have been honored to sing together at Faneuil Hall and Gillette Stadium, on the same stages as revolutionaries, abolitionists, and local heroes dedicated to creating a more equitable future. And while the circumstances may be different today, we are just as honored to sing for you now together from our homes.
We dedicate this song to the 26 high school seniors in the 2020 Alumni Leadership Council. You are change makers, upstanders, and bridge builders. For 5 years, you have represented Project 351's core values of kindness, compassion, humility, and gratitude. And over the last 3 months, you have demonstrated extraordinary resolve, perseverance, and leadership in your schools, your hometowns, and as role models and mentors in the Project 351 community.
We are proud to serve with you and every member of the Project 351 class of 2016 in the Project 351 alumni family, now 3,381 strong. In the words of our service hero, Congressman John Lewis, you are heading out to make good trouble and change our campuses, our communities, and our country for the better. So, in gratitude for your service and in honor of your service, we dedicate this song to you.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn,
and we are led to those who will help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return.
Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime, so let me say before we part,
so much of me is made of what I've learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart.
And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blamed me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled through like a ship blown as it passes by a wind off the sea, like a stream that meets like a seed dropped by a bird in the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And
because I knew you,
because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Welcome, 351 ambassadors. I think back to 10 years ago when we started this program with Governor Deval Patrick and the great influence that it has had in binding the Commonwealth together And we've developed a network now, this being our 10th year, of 3,500 young men and women of diverse backgrounds, all doing great things to make this Commonwealth greater. We are honored as a family to give the Myra Craft Scholarship, which one of you will be receiving very soon, a $20,000 stipend. And we're really proud of you because you're the foundation of what makes this country great. And we see the need for it, especially in these times. In your honor, I'm sorry we couldn't be here at Gillette like we have the other 9 years. So we're gonna light up the stadium in honor of you all with the 351 colors. And we wanna thank Governor Baker and the First Lady Lauren for their great support of this program since they have been elected.
I want to welcome again all the ambassadors and alums to our virtual reunion. I know we're usually at Gillette Stadium interacting, celebrating the strength of this unbelievable and impactful Project 351 community. But unfortunately, we're doing it virtual this year, but I know we'll all be together next year live and in person. And now it's a great honor on behalf of my dad and my brothers Jonathan and Danny to present the Myra Craft Giving Back Scholarship, which we've presented to a Project 351 graduating senior since 2015. And it's a $20,000 scholarship paid over 4 years. And I'm happy also to congratulate our 2016 scholarship winners, Meredith Forcier from Fall River, who graduated from Worcester Polytech, and Caitlin Burnett from Conway, who graduated from the University of New Hampshire. This year's recipient, just like my mom, who we named the scholarship after, cares deeply about community and will do anything and everything to make her community stronger. She's a very smart young woman, and because of what she's learned through her time in Project 351, she'll be going into teaching as her chosen profession. And just like my mother, she loves to cook. In fact, she opened a bakery, and all the proceeds from the bakery go to servicemen and veterans, as well as the local food pantry in her hometown of Ashby. This year's winner is Rachel Sabal from Ashby. Congratulations, Rachel. You will make Husson University in Maine so proud, not only as a student, but when you become an alum of that great university. Congratulations again to Rachel and everybody associated with Project 351, and I look forward to seeing you all live and in person next year.
So I'm calling with two pieces of news. First, to say thank you for your commitment to Project 351 and all your great work. And I'm also calling, my name's Josh Kraft, and I'm part of the family that my dad owns the New England Patriots, and we're honored to call and tell you, or I'm honored to call and tell you, congratulations, because you're getting the Myra Craft Scholarship, $20,000 over 4 years for your time at Husson up in Maine, and we appreciate everything you do, the work you do through your bakery to support veterans and food pantries. It's just like my mother would have been so proud to have someone sharing her name at college because of the great work you do, because she believed in it. And I have someone here who wants to also congratulate.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Wow. Josh just happened to be coming over and we're chatting, and he told me you had the pleasure, so he's letting me be an add-on to him, but especially it's an honor for me to be able to connect with someone like you, knowing that someone like you is getting the award of my late sweet wife is really cool. And so it's a pleasure to meet you.
That is so incredible. Thank you so much. I'm like speechless. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me and for the scholarship.
Well,
My wife was a special lady, and she loved people who looked out for others. Her life celebrated volunteerism. So when the terrible loss that I encountered with her, we tried to do some things in her memory that was special. And she'd love a young person like you doing the kind of things you're doing and feeling a sense of community. So we thank you for that, and it's nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to meet you too.
Hello, Project 351. Charlie Rose, Volunteer Board Chair. Want to express gratitude to all of you and a special gratitude to the Kraft family and the Patriots for the Kraft Scholarship. I'm here to share a 351 rhyme for reunion. 351, one moment, one day, 1 year, one life, one family. One movement, walking stride for stride. Wide-eyed ambassadors as guides. Standing side by side, dignified. Community impact is magnified and multiplied, bringing light to places that are all too dark, through the beauty of places like Martin's Park. Lighting fires and generating sparks, honoring the legacy of Dr. King and Miss Rosa Parks. 351, there's much work to be done under this sun. Battles to be won, songs to be sung. We won't be outrun or undone. And we're also going to have fun because we're built for the long run. And we are second to none. And even after 10 years, our story's really just begun. We truly value each and every one. That is why we're opposed to people being destroyed. We stand against making any human null and void. We honor the memory and life of Mr. George Floyd. It's time to answer the call. We want freedom and justice for all. 351, one continuous beam of light dedicated to making things right. With all of our might, never giving up the fight. As day turns to night, we know how to inspire, organize, and excite. Our ambassadors have incredible insight. They don't seek the spotlight. They always delight. Each and every year, you are truly a highlight. With 351, you just know that everything's gonna be all right.
Good evening, ambassadors and alumni. Bill, Henry, and I are honored to be with you tonight as your partners in service, and Jane is thrilled to be part of your 351 family as a 2020 ambassador. The class of 2020 has met unprecedented challenges. Together, you have learned about the critical issues that our nation and our world are facing. Through your ideas to effect positive change in areas that range from hunger to climate, to LGBTQ rights, to ending systemic racism and violence in our country. You show us that you are ready to do the necessary work to achieve a united, just country, Dr. King's beloved community. You are already acting as the peacemakers, thinkers, and upstanders that we hoped you would become. Thank you for your commitment to opening your minds to new possibilities and to opening your hearts to serve. Martin Richard Foundation is proud to stand with you, your community partners, and all of your service heroes as together we upend the status quo. There's so much work to do, and as Dr. King said, the time is right to do what is right. We take our lead from you, the younger generation, and we can't wait to help you make good trouble. Congratulations, 351. We love you.
I am Elsa Puckis from Everett and serve as Class of 2020 Ambassador.
My name is Anika Chichandani, Project 351 Ambassador from Braintree.
It's Bryce Shofi. I'm the Ambassador for Chilmark on Martha's Vineyard.
My name is Kobe Yin, Class of 2020 Ambassador for Haven.
I'm Jack Regan, Class of 2020 Ambassador from Abington.
Josie Tucker, Ambassador from Newton.
I'm Kelvin Mungai,
an ambassador from Holbrook.
Kiara Spoonphone, class of 2020 ambassador from Lowell.
I'm Lily Wagasback, class of 2020 ambassador from Maynard.
I'm Maddie Niley, I'm the class of 2020 ambassador from Granville.
I'm Nathan Yee, class of 2020 ambassador from Lorica.
My name is Pranav Govindarajan, class of 2020 ambassador from Holliston.
I'm Riga Moravik, ambassador from Blandford.
Shwani Parmar, Project 351 ambassador from Hadley.
Taryn Piernay, ambassador from Malden.
My name is Winyura Tizublim. I am Westfield's class of 2020 ambassador.
My one hope is for peace through kindness and compassion.
351 means that out of all 351 towns and cities, we all unite together as one.
One great hope is that we can work together all over the world to solve problems and create change. My one hope is to join with ambassadors to end world hunger.
This is just the start of my lifetime service.
In the future, I can build an orphanage in India that nourishes and cares for children.
My hope is that one day we can put race, religion, gender, and all of our differences behind us and live as one.
No child should be left alone.
My one hope is to inspire more young leaders to stand up for what is right.
Someday, our world will live with equality, kindness, and humility.
351 motivates me to be the good I want to see in the world.
One day, we live in a world where humans work together and not against one another.
My one hope is to serve more, at soup kitchens and places for underprivileged youth.
Through service, I hope to help children who may not be able to help themselves.
Project 351 inspires my hope that the world can one day become a better place.
To me, Project 351 is family.
351 is also a message of hope.
351 means unity.
Project 351 is power.
To me, Project 351 means kindness.
Is community.
Project 351 is service.
Project 351 is gratitude.
Is mentorship.
Love, dedication.
Is kindness.
Community.
Is service.
That means leadership.
Project 351 is possibility.
Hey everybody, hey Project 351. This is Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker, and I just want to say happy 10th anniversary. It's amazing to me that it's been 10 years since Carolyn Casey kicked off this amazing idea about getting together every year at least one very special 8th grader from every community here in the Commonwealth to do service projects in their community and to become a community of their own. And obviously, over the course of this past 10 years, one of the best parts about Project 351 has been the alumni who come back year after year after year to support the next generation, the next act of Project 351 players. And you all have become, in many respects, and I've said this before to Carolyn, like your own community of service, your own community of support, and your own community of good works, wherever it is you go. And the opportunity that Project 351 has given all of you to learn a lot about how to build coalitions, how to put together a service plan, how to organize and build a project and then follow through and execute is a really special trait that honestly you'll be able to use in so many different ways throughout the course of the rest of your life. And I think the one thing I would say to all of you that I'm sure is terribly disappointing is your service year was interrupted, as so many other people's year was interrupted, by the COVID-19 pandemic. And for you, obviously, finding a way to provide service, finding a way to build a community, finding a way to do the things that make Project 351 so special was obviously a heck of a lot more complicated than it's been for those who came before you. But you know what? That ends up becoming something that you'll be able to share with the classes that come after you as you become an alum and have a chance to serve and support them. But mostly, I just want to say, hey, 10 years of nothing but good works, big smiles, and great things from one end of Massachusetts and beyond. Thank you.
Hi, Project 351. I'm Lauren Baker, the First Lady and the biggest fan of Project 351 on the planet, outside of maybe Charlie Rose. I just want to echo everything the governor just said and say to all of you, I am so very proud of how you handled this most difficult period of time. I was lucky enough to be present at the very first service leadership Zoom call, and it was apparent to me on that day that You all were working together to get as much as you possibly could out of this program. Your support for each other and for Project 351 was palpable, and I am so proud of the incredible work that you have done since then. Creating your own service projects, creating and implementing the Hope and Gratitude Walk, and raising $15,000 is unbelievable. The lessons that you have learned and the service that you have provided are going to be with you forever, and we as a Commonwealth and as every adult around you, we are counting on you continuing your journey as a service leader. You give us hope and faith in the goodness of the people of Massachusetts and in our future. You guys rock. I'm really, really proud of you. What you have been through is unprecedented, and it's going to make you even better than you already were. Thanks a lot, and congratulations on completing a great year.
What she said.
Thank you, Lauren and Governor Baker, for celebrating with us today. These past few weeks, I've spent a lot of time thinking about what we consider the most transformative times in history. I wonder a lot about whether the people marching for women's rights, or sitting in jail cells during the civil rights movement, or those who refused to move their bodies or bend their wills understood the full gravity of their resistance, or the radical change that would follow. There is something powerful hanging heavy in the air now, the idea that we can make things better. The following is in honor of this moment. Martin Luther King said he had been to the mountaintop, that he had seen the promised land. Perhaps he squinted and saw us somewhere along the horizon, teetering along the edge of struggle and progress, and noticed there was still work to be done. Forward, he calls.
As new generations inherit the call to justice and the stubborn set of their jawlines, and steadfast feet continue to march from Selma forward
to the polls and the city councils and state capitals, to see John Lewis, who once stayed sit-ins, now sit in Congress, to witness freedom riders writing freedom into law.
To pick up our pens and ready our tongues, there is righteous work to be done. Forward.
To the music drifting from storefronts, the sounds of Spanish and Arabic and Mandarin tickling your eardrums. To accents tasting like spices in sacred trust, to vowels dancing on immigrant tongues with abandon. Forward.
To the village it will take to raise our children together, to the garden we plant in gratitude,
to pluck the fruits of our labor of love and leave our faces sticky and smiling as we rest in the shade beneath the old poplar tree. Forward.
To the schoolyards, to unpack the fear from our students' backpacks and watch them trade history lessons like playing cards. Forward, young people.
You who make good trouble, who assemble the jagged pieces of broken bottles into stained glass windows, who collect sunlight from the gaping holes in the ceilings of our homes.
We're here to introduce you to the sound of your own voice, to offer our clenched fist to use as a microphone, to show you the breath of possibilities you expire from your lungs.
There are rivers of clean water running through the lines in your hands, and enough heat in your skin to keep all of your neighbors warm. Your ribcage can expand to shelter a whole community in your chest. When something moves you, your heart beats louder than war drums.
Your nimble fingers can stitch the open wounds of a nation back together. Your compassion can meld the cracks in the Liberty Bell. Forward, to climb the mountaintop. Perhaps upon that peak we can stand shoulder to shoulder and watch the sun rise over the promised land.
Forward with hope. We close with Noor's poetry in our ears and hope and gratitude in our hearts. At the midpoint of our service year, we summon our energy and commit our resolve to realize a vision of our community and our nation defined by greater equity, opportunity, and love. We give thanks to our ambassadors and alumni who embrace that challenge as a canvas to dream of and work for a more humane and just planet. Thank you for answering the call to serve, for transforming the vision of Project 351 to reality, for demonstrating the transformative impact of a life devoted to a cause greater than self. To you and to your families and educators, thank you for building Project 351 and for teaching us how to build a better world. It takes a community to build a community, and as we close tonight's celebration, I offer enduring gratitude for our beloved community. And I begin with the world's best team, Sam Carson, Marsha Robinson, and Danielle West. As we close tonight, I want to celebrate and appreciate their quiet leadership, steadfast devotion, passion for our young leaders, and commitment to build the beloved community. They teach me every day, and they are a gift as colleagues, partners, and friends. Good night, everybody.